Welcome, folks. Hope you're all doing well. So this is the price action for pound USD. This is the 4-hour chart. So today we had CPI. This is all CPI business. So we had CPI. Before CPI, we had several trades that we were to capitalize on. But before that, let's look at what CPI was aiming for. So we had these inefficiency right here. So you extend that. This is the 4-hour chart. We had this inefficiency. Price traded. If you check your fib, anchor to that low of that inefficiency, and then to the midpoint. As you can see, we almost hit the 75% level of that inefficiency. So here we had this as an inefficiency, but now to me this is a balanced price range from these candles high to these candles low. If you extend that through, let me do that. That candles high to that candles low. If we extend that, to me this is a balanced price range because we had a single pass to the upside and then we had a single pass to the downside. So to me this is a balanced price range. So I was not anticipating for a very big run into maybe the midpoint of this inefficiency because we had this as a balanced price range. So we had that as a balanced price range. Also, we had this as a breaker. So we had high, low, higher, high. So this one, this candle right there becomes a breaker right there. So we had two PD arrays. We had this inefficiency, the lower end of that inefficiency, and then we had now the buy side that was residing above these highs. Also, we had this inefficiency right here. So we traded into that and eventually poked into that inefficiency. And then now we had this aggressive sell to the downside. So you can notice that yesterday we closed right there and then we opened. We came all the way down, but we did not take out these lows. So it was so simple to determine the bias for CPI because we did not take these lows, which makes them relatively equal. So if you ever see these and then price runs taking out buy side, we anticipate for shorts, maybe during New York Open or maybe any news release. So we had that. This was the drawn liquidity right there, but we did not hit that. But for Euro, we did hit this level. So we had that for CPI. So if you head over to the 15-minute chart and you see the other setups that we had. So today, British pound, we had news for British pound at 2. So we had two setups. So the first setup was we had this run to this inefficiency. We had this inefficiency right here, which is to the discount of this price range. We traded into that and then went all the way up into this inefficiency. So we had an SMT divergence of, I'm leaving that to you. We had an SMT divergence for Euro USD and then we had Pound USD. So Euro made a higher high while Pound was unwilling to make the higher high. So that was SMT. So we traded into, we had this inefficiency. We had this small inefficiency right there. So this was the first trade. And then now we had this sell. We're aiming for these lows, but we did not get that. So price went back up again at exactly, this was at 1. We traded into this inefficiency right there, went up again, traded into this inefficiency, and then now this was when the news release was supposed to happen. So we had the news release at 2, at exactly 2. We were trading into this inefficiency right there. So there was a small inefficiency right here, right there. We traded into that, and then we had now the aggressive of the news aiming for these highs. We hit the highs, and then we had now, after taking out those highs, we had this as a trade also. So this was close to London Open, so we were to capitalize on this, aiming either for the midpoint of this inefficiency or eventually below these relative equal lows. So this was a break-even trade, or maybe you could have been taken out on trail stops. So those were we had 1, 2, and then 3. We had 3 trades for pound USD, and then now we had these, the CPI itself. So we had CPI, and then, so if we head over to the 1 minute chart and see how the business was. So we had yeah. Monday, Tuesday. It's not the price action today. What's happening? Oh yeah. So here we had that buy. We were aiming for these highs. We didn't get to the highs. Euro made the higher highs while pound was unwilling to make the higher high. So it traded into this inefficiency. We colored outside the inefficiency, but we eventually also here we had the 1 minute inefficiency. So we traded into that, and then now we had this aggressive move to the downside. So this was the entry short. Here we had an aggressive entry long, and then we had these as our shorts. It came all the way down to this level, so we were supposed to buy from here, but we had not taken out sell side, so there was no reason for us to buy. So we had that. So price went up, came back into this inefficiency. This was our entry long again right there, and then our stop be placed just below these lows. And then, but because we were anticipating for news during at exactly 2, so there was no need to enter here, and we had no clue where the news would be taking the price. So here we had this inefficiency. We went all the way up, traded back into that inefficiency. We respected the midpoint of that inefficiency, and then now we had the news that came in right there. So this was our entry, and then our stop be placed just below this inefficiency, and then we had that. So we had already taken out, after taking out a buy side, so we had this as an aggressive entry. So we could have gone short right there, placing a stop just above that high, and then having this. So we came all the way down, but we did not get to our take profit. Price eventually went all the way back up. And then now we had CPI. Here we had CPI. This is the 4-hour inefficiency. So we came, traded into at New York Open. We traded inside the inefficiency, came all the way down, and then we had this spike to the upside, taking anyone who was short prior to the news release. And then now we had this aggressive sell. So those were the trades that we had today for pound. Don't think I have anything else to add to that. So those were the trades that we were supposed to have taken. We had a total of 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. We had a total of 5 trades. So it depends with the time that you are comfortable trading, and also depends with your, maybe you trade London, maybe you trade New York. It all depends. So I guess that's it for today, and until I talk to you next time, be safe.